Hi, are you someone who is suffering from Bell's palsy? And you are wondering which is the right sleeping position that I should adopt that will help me to recover faster? Then this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the right and the best type of sleeping position that is ideal for a person who is suffering from Bell's palsy. Let's get started. Friends, majority of patients who come to us who suffers from Bell's palsy or synkinesis have this one question in common, and that is, in which position shall I sleep? Well, if I have to tell you honestly, in what position you sleep does not significantly change or improve your recovery timeline. However, your sleeping position have got a significant impact on your facial muscles, and that's why it's important that you should be mindful of your sleeping position while you are suffering from Bell's palsy or synkinesis. So, what's the ideal position? Well, let's break down each position one by one. So let's first talk about sleeping on the affected side. What will happen if you sleep on the affected side? Well, when you will sleep on the affected side, majority of the pressure will be falling on the affected side of the cheeks, and the warmth that is created by rubbing of your cheeks will be helpful in reducing the spasms that is developed on the face. However, if you be in the same position for a long time, it could lead to further compression on the nerves and can make you feel some tingling and numbness kind of sensation on the face. So, it's good to sleep on the affected side of the face for some time, maybe somewhere around 15 to 30 minutes, but not more than that. After that, you should definitely consider changing your sleeping position. But sleeping on the affected side whole night is absolutely a bad idea. So don't think that if I sleep on the affected side, it will give me more massage on the face and it will be good. The idea is clear. Sleep in the affected side for 15 to 30 minutes and then change your position. This will give you both benefits. That is, the friction will help to reduce the spasm. At the same time, changing position will also prevent further compression. The second thing is the sleeping position on the non-affected side. Well, this absolutely relaxes and offloads the facial muscles and gives the opportunity for these facial muscles to breathe and relax well. That's why sleeping on the non-affected side is equally important and beneficial as sleeping on the affected side. So make sure that when you are suffering from Bell's palsy, spend equal amount of time, in fact, spend more time sleeping on the non-affected side than sleeping on the affected side. Third important thing is use of pillow. Many people ask, can we use pillow or we should not use the pillow? Well, support on the neck is very important. If your neck is hanging very back, that can lead to blood pooling. Not very significant, but to an extent. But if your neck is raised and there is enough neck support, it will allow your neck muscles to relax and will give you a good night's sleep, which eventually turn your facial muscles in a relaxed state. Next is keeping hand on the face or else shoulder on the face while sleeping. This again is not a good idea. If you do that, you are going to unnecessarily put lot of pressure and load on the facial muscles. So make sure you refrain from doing that. Don't try to pull, push and create unnecessary spasms on the face by placing a hand or else forearm under your cheeks or the face while sleeping. Next important position is sleeping straight. Is it good? Yes, it is good. You can definitely sleep on your back, which will allow your neck to be well supported. There will be a good breathing ability for you. That will be the best positions for your lungs to expand. So sleeping on your back is good. But again, like any positions, you should not be in one position for a long time. Throughout the night, you should keep on shifting your position. Next comes sleeping on your stomach. Well, that's not a good position to sleep in. Don't sleep on your stomach while suffering from Bell's palsy. In fact, while you sleep on the stomach, it compromises your breathing, it compresses the facial muscles in other direction and it doesn't give much relaxation. In fact, if you enjoy sleeping on your tummy, then in that case, place two pillows below your chest so that your head and the chest is slightly raised which allows some breathing room for your facial muscles. At the same time, it relaxes the neck and upper back muscles. So that posture is worth considering. Now comes some other simple practices that you should do while sleeping. Number one, before sleeping, try to meditate and do some journaling. That will empty your thoughts and will give you good night's sleep. Number two, expose yourself to very mild light before sleeping. So in fact, if you're sleeping, make sure that you dim your lights at least 1 hour before you sleep. That will also give you a good night's sleep. Number three, wear light clothing and keep your average room temperature little on a warmer end, which will give you a better sleeping and healing capabilities. Next is taping. Tape your mouth at the same time eyelids. That will prevent not only the eyelids from getting opened, but the mouth taping will prevent the mouth breathing, which will encourage nostril breathing, which will encourage the nostril movement, which gets limited due to Bell's palsy. So, these are some simple tips that you should know about your sleeping positions and sleeping habits while recovering from Bell's palsy and synkinesis. Aren't they simple? If you like them, make sure to hit the like button. And make sure to follow our YouTube channel HealthQ, where we come up with lots and lots of information on conditions and health related issues around head, neck and face. On that note, I'll end this video here and I'll see you in another video. Thank you.